Okay, so welcome to our webinar, our information session on our bachelor's degree program in human relations at CUNY SPS. We have joined together chairs from various departments throughout the CUNY system, from various community colleges. Our program is rather new and we want to tell you all about it. So I'm Bonnie Oglensky. I'm the director of the Human Relations Program, and I am actually here with the Associate Director, Holly Broadfoot, and Darian Robinson is our technical helper, and he is also here with us, so he's going to be helping if you have any kind of technical questions as we move through the webinar. So I think since we're probably a small group that are gathered today, that what we're going to do is if you have questions, type them in, and I'll try to answer the questions as we move through the presentation. And then there will be time at the end for us to take additional questions. So okay, so what is the CUNY School of Professional Studies? So essentially we are the newest senior college at CUNY, offering a bunch of bachelor's degrees, 10 of them, 8 master's degrees at the undergraduate and advanced certificate and graduate level, and professional non-degree programs. We are mostly known for providing online and on-campus and some on-campus programs. You'll hear in a minute about how our human relations program is somewhat unique in that respect. CUNY School of Professional Studies has been noted as being one of the top schools in the country and in New York for various programs that we have. In the top 5% for best online programs in the bachelor's level in 2016 by U.S. News and World Report. And we are what's called a degree completer college. So this means that we want to draw students, largely adult students, who started their degree, and there are many, many thousands of students across the country who have started degrees and have not finished them. So for our programs, one must have 24 college credits, meet math and English requirements, and have a 2.5 GPA for admissions. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what the human relations degree is and what the field of human relations is as a academic field of study. Essentially, we're interested in helping students develop skills that will improve work life. So it's a field of study that looks at all the range of challenges in behavior and interaction and in the kinds of relationships and dynamics in the workplace. Sometimes I say it's all the stuff that goes on that doesn't necessarily have to do with doing one's job, but sometimes it actually does bear on, and often bears on, doing one's job. So the idea is to prepare students to understand and be able to skillfully respond at the individual, group, and organizational levels. The field itself draws on diverse fields such as psychology, sociology, law, business, public administration, the humanities, and communication. There are actually other fields that it builds on too. There's philosophy, there is human resources, etc. And so this is a program that is rather new at CUNY SPS, and you will hear in a moment, we are a face-to-face program at SPS, so our classes are held in our central location, which is at 31st Street, right near Penn Station. The career prospects for students in our program, and here's a list of the different kinds of career prospects. Since we are not focused on any particular sector of work or field of work, students can leave us and do leave us to go on to nonprofit organizations, human services, social services, the corporate world, civil service and government jobs, education and school systems. We have a number of students in healthcare institutions. And as I said before, largely because we are an institution for adult learners, the majority of our students are already working people, and as a matter of fact, we just had a mini conference, our first annual professional development mini conference for our students, and through that we learned in surveys that we did of our students that many are working in healthcare, many are working in educational systems, many are working in civil service, so most are employed and really seek a degree that's going to help them navigate the workplace and position them for supervisory positions and beyond. So the degree, as I said, is rather new. We're finishing our second year and we're graduating our first cohort of students. And the degree really comes from a felt need in the workforce and within the academic system to prepare students to be able to navigate, as I said before, the challenges of interpersonal skills, of organizational analysis, understanding roles, understanding structures within organization, understanding organizational cultures, and also have a toolbox for being able to intervene at those levels, both for themselves personally and to be able to move up and advance into supervisory and beyond positions, but also to be able to bring those skills in order to improve workplace conditions in a broader sense. So we did our homework and understand that employers want these skills. So essentially, there's studies that say more people are losing their jobs because they don't get along with others and have difficulty with interpersonal skills, and that people who lack these skills are often at a disadvantage, especially as technological tools in business result in more kind of communication exchange. So this kind of people skills, but people skills with savvy and with kind of deep perspective about what makes folks tick in the workplace and how teams form and how teams fall apart and how work gets done and work gets interrupted are very, very valued skills in the workplace. So here's a few more of the things that employers look for in new college graduates. This was from an important article and research endeavor carried out, how should colleges prepare students to succeed in today's global economy. So you see the list of skills that are listed here are really ones that organize the kinds of things that we hope students will get when they're in our program. So working with teams, being able to write and speak well, of course we all want that, being able to understand numbers and statistics, and you'll see in a moment when we talk about some of the specifics of the curriculum that we do require students to take a quantitative reasoning course, understand ethical issues, understand legal issues in the work world, and really be able to think complexly about what's going on in workplaces. So, so the Human Relations Program is really organized around meeting those needs and developing those skills in students. Okay, so this is often what students want to know. What can I expect to learn in this degree? So here's just a smattering of the most important skills probably about teamwork and power and equality in the workplace, conflict negotiation, collaboration and motivation and employee engagement, managerial and leadership challenges, etc. One of the things that I think folks do want to know and ask quite frequently is what's the difference between this and human resources? And I think it's a great question, and I would say that the human relations degree subsumes partly human resources, which is really a function in an organization. It's a department within an organization. The human relations degree is multidisciplinary and is sort of more than the sum of human resources. It's about developing sociological perspectives about organizational life, understanding different kinds of organizations and why and how they function in different kinds of localities with different kinds of different types of work, etc. There's some very practice-oriented skills and knowledge that that students can gain in this degree, and so in that sense there's a very applied focus. So practicing communication skills interpersonally, within groups, being able to speak in front of audiences, using technology as a mediator of speech is very important. So human resources, I would say, is a part of human relations, which is a much broader degree. Okay, so the curriculum for our program is laid out here, or partly laid out here, I should say, and I'm happy to send you more information about all the courses that are required, but essentially students will need to fulfill the pathways and gen ed requirements, which is 39 credits. Students who come in from your schools with an associate's degree obviously will have the pathways and gen ed requirements waived, so they come in with their 60 credits. We have 9 human relations courses, so that would add up to 27 credits, and then we have 6 additional courses in other majors in these multidisciplinary fields that will add up to 18 additional credits. When all is said and done, students will need some up to 36 credits in free electives additionally in order to be able to graduate. We estimate students will need about 5 to 7 free electives. So essentially the courses, you see the titles of them: interpersonal and group communication, human relations issues in management, power and inequality in the workplace, ethical and legal dimensions, and conflict in human relations. Those are some of the core courses. We also have a course in action research. We want to make sure that students have the tools to be able to gather evidence of workplace problems. So in addition to theoretical work and readings that they do and lots of hands-on practice activity, they're also engaged in learning research tools to be able to demonstrate and document workplace problems in order to be able to move forward and be able to propose and recommend interventions and actually carry them out. So we're actually offering a new additional required course in the fall called Transformations of Work in America, which really contextualizes how people work, how that's changed over time, what the issues are in terms of exclusion and inclusion in the workplace, different kinds of differentiation in the workplace, different kinds of laws, etc. I mean, essentially, at the core, we're interested in, what's going on in terms of relationships at work. So all of these courses address relational issues at work from one perspective or another. Again, feel free if you have any questions to post them. I can stop at any point, but I'm just going to move on at this point. Okay, so because we have the unique privilege of offering in-person courses at CUNY SBS, which also has, as I've said, quite a stellar record, even in its early stage, for its online courses, we are offering our major courses in person, and we are also offering some of the gen ed requirements in person as well. In addition, we offer a whole host of gen ed and pathways courses online, the free electives online, and additional courses that are required by the major. So students who want to come to us can feel confident that they'll be able to take most of their courses in person, and as we move forward and as students develop more interest in taking our courses online, we will encourage them and support them to do some of their coursework online, and also to be able to use the rest of the university system to take courses they may need that they want to take in person that that we may not be offering in the semesters that they're taking those courses. The minors that we offer at CUNY SPS, since we are a growing college, this list changes from one year to the next, believe it or not. So right now we have minors in communication and media, in business, disability studies, information systems, psychology, and sociology. So students with those three electives are very free and invited and encouraged to take courses in any of these fields to develop a minor. We also have a number of graduate programs that some of which are already aligned with our bachelor's. HRL means human relations, so currently we have a very new master's in industrial organizational psychology, a master's in business and leadership, and we have an advanced certificate in management. So I'm working with my colleagues in those departments to figure out reasonable and positive linkages between our program, our bachelor's level program, and these master's level programs. And we're very confident that there's some very good overlap between our undergraduate offering in human relations and these particular master's level programs, but we know there's more to come in this area. Okay, so here's what I wanted to say, that we did a career survey also at this mini conference that we did recently, and while we're not particularly surprised, most of our current students are interested in coming to our human relations program as a stepping stone to a master's degree. So we, we're very intent on making these linkages with the master's degrees, both at SPS and elsewhere. So if your students have that aspiration, we hope you'll tell them about this process that we're putting in place. To apply, students have to have a minimum 2.5 GPA and 24 credits, at least 24 credits from an accredited college. They're asked to write a personal essay and submit an official transcript from each college previously attended. Naturally, they have to demonstrate basic proficiency in reading, writing, and math. So there is one more thing to add about the application process. So let me just go through to the next page. Okay, so there is something that we call a transfer credit evaluation. This will happen really in any bachelor's level institution that is going to take a student that's a transfer. And I don't think this is on our, no, the information isn't on our PowerPoint right now, but essentially a student is going to sit down with an admissions advisor who's going to review all the transcripts and prepare a transfer credit evaluation for every student to show which courses are accepted and in lieu of what courses they might need to take here. So one thing to note, and I will follow up with you and provide the link for you, but we actually have a service here where students can, prior to applying to us, set up an appointment with an advisor who will go through their transcript, and so the student needs to bring a transcript in an unofficial way to kind of give them a read on where they would stand if they made application for admissions. So that should be in this slide, but I will follow up with you and send you the information about that. It's a really great service, and I think it gives students, it gets them excited about coming here, it also gives them a very, a clear sense of where they would stand when they make the application. CUNY SPS is going to consider all their credits, no matter how long ago they were earned, for the transfer, and there's no expiration on the credit on the date that the credits were earned. And students are going to receive a copy of the transfer credit evaluation before they meet with someone, an advisor, to discuss course selection and registration. One of the really important things to point out about CUNY SPS, we're a high-touch institution, and what that means is that students can feel confident that they will get the guidance and the support that they need at every step of moving through the application phase, and then once admitted, the registration phase and the advisement phase moving forward. Students are assigned to an advisor once they're admitted, and they stay with that advisor throughout their work with us at SPS. So we're really we have a really strong commitment and lots of activity to back up the idea that we want to retain our students, and we also want to hear from them when they're having difficulties to help them solve those difficulties within the institution. Okay, so essentially I have finished telling you all about our program, at least in a broad overview sort of way, and would love to be able to hear your questions so that I can address the specific needs of in your departments and the kinds of things that you're interested in. So if you have questions and want to write them down, I'd be happy to take them. I can give you certainly some time to do that. And actually, if you do not have any questions and you want to write that, that would be helpful so that we could wrap up and then figure out what our next steps are. Good question. Your next step for articulation. The next step for articulation would be to contact me, and then I will be in touch with our sort of academic manager here, and we would send folks at your school a listing of what our courses are, and we would have a conversation about what courses your major entails that articulate with our courses. So we would have basically a direct communication about that. So, and you have my email from the invitation. So, so David, I would be happy to continue the conversation, sort of in a email exchange, so we can take the next step. So I'm not sure if I see, okay, so David, okay, you can send me a copy of the new curriculum with course descriptions for me to review. That'd be excellent. David, remind me what department you're in? Okay, I do see your question. Okay. Health Sciences and Human Services, great. Graduation support and job placement. Well, we have a career services department here, and actually, if I'm going to go back up in the PowerPoint, we just, as I said, we just had our first Human Relations mini-conference, and it was really focused on skills for either switching jobs or getting jobs. So we have two career advisors who are at SPS, and like I said, most of our students who come here are already working, and but we are very interested and have a lot of career support for folks who are looking to change jobs and looking to get jobs. So we do have a career services department. We are running these conferences for students to be able to develop. This last conference that we had, which again was our first, focused on networking, interview skills, students had their pictures taken in what's called a photo booth for LinkedIn. And those professional headshots are being sent to all of our students so that they can develop a professional social media presence in order to be able to advance in their careers, etc. So in terms of graduation support, again, being able to move students through the program with a lot of high touch and advisement so that they efficiently take courses, so that there's a real focus on retention and on getting them to the finish line with graduation is really is something that our advisors do, and we have, you know, like I said, individual advisors who stay with the students, and our unit stays very connected with the advisors. So so there's a lot of high touch on our end too. You're welcome. Thank you. So does anybody else have any other questions that you'd like to raise this afternoon? I have to admit this is a little bit of an odd way of communicating. This is my first time doing a webinar, and I'm looking at what you're writing, if you're writing, but and there are a lot of details that I'm sure that individually we would find that we'd like to talk about because there are differences between your departments. But you know, I think the thing that I really want to emphasize, I guess, in signing off, if nobody has any additional questions, is that we really want to work with you. We want students to know we're here. We're not easy to find necessarily because students and the general public don't know about human relations as a major. We're the only one in CUNY. Students do find us usually when they look for human resources, but if they're looking for a kind of a field that is some combination of, again, human services and being able to be a people person in workplaces that in which they're not necessarily clinicians or they're not doing direct service, but their area of work is really in the people skills related to managing the workplace, then this is the right field for such students. And when students do find us, you know, there's an instant bell that goes on. I mean, we have met many students who say, I can't believe there's a field like this, there's a major like this is perfect for me. So our challenge is in getting the word out to students. So we really, really appreciate our future work together with you to get the word out to students that this is a kind of a new option. It's very cutting edge. And our students are really delighted and very happy in the program, and we're really thrilled with having them and with getting to meet your students. So, okay, I don't see any more questions at the moment. So with that said, I guess I want to really thank you for taking the time to be with us this afternoon, and I will look forward to having some follow-up emails. Thank you, and I will be in touch with you, and we can move this forward. So have a good day, and thanks again.